Some movies are not rated or compared. Grave of the Fireflies. This enemy movie is one such movie. There is not a single person who did not cry after watching this 1988 movie. The story of this movie may stay in your head for the rest of your life. So please don't drag and watch the full video. I promise you won't waste your time, and if you think your time is wasted, leave a dislike. So without further ado, let's go to the story of the movie. A railway station in Japan. Another poor boy who is very sick. Seeing him, it was clear that he is spending the last days of his life here. Many passengers were walking there from nearby, but the mechanical people of the city are so busy that they don't even have time to see a person dying. And this is the daily picture of our city today. We are too busy with ourselves. At the end of the day, it becomes night. The cleaning staff of the station came to the boy. There were several other boys like that boy. They were waiting for death. But the attitude of the railway staff seemed to be the daily picture of that station. The cleaners were checking the boys' pockets when they found a tin can in the boy's pocket. Since the tin can was unnecessary, the cleaner threw the tin can in the garden next door. Ted's stupor was broken and many lighting bugs came out, and in a moment it lit up all around. Out of that light came a little girl like an angel whose name was Sachoko. On the other hand, that boy has died by now. His body is lying far away. The little girl was going to run towards the body. That's when a hand touched her shoulder. When Sachoko turned around, she saw it was her brother, whose name was Saida. Sachoko takes her brother's hand and boards a train heading for an unknown destination. Basically, the boy who was lying dead. He was none other than Sachoko's brother, Saida, and it was the spirit of two brother and sister. The story goes back many years ago. The time was during World War II when the Americans attacked Japan. The common people, to save their lives, started running around for some safe shelter. Then the boy named Saida kept the necessary things of their house under the ground so that they could use them when the war was over. We also see Sachoko and her mother there. Sachoko's mother tells them, "I will go to the shelter and make room for you. You finish your chores and quickly come to the shelter with your little sister." Their mother moved to the shelter, and Saida, having finished her handiwork, tied her younger sister to her back, and before going, he took some necessary things with him. But then it was too late. The Americans launched an air attack on Japan. Only the sound of gunfire all around. The little girl did not understand what war was. She clung to her brother very tightly to survive, and Saida ran out of the house to save her only younger sister. He left the house and started running to save his sister. But at that time, people's wails and gunfire were all around. The air there was heavy with the smell of people burning. Children could not understand what to do in the midst of such destruction. Then they found a little safe shelter by the side of the main road. The two tired siblings breathed a sigh of relief, and then it started raining from the sky as a blessing. Saida, with her younger sister Sachoko, set off again towards the shelter. After a long journey, they reached the shelter. A familiar aunt of Saida came from near and said to Saida, "I was looking for you. Your mother was badly injured by the bomb. You meet your mother soon. I am keeping your younger sister," said Choko. Hearing this, Saida quickly ran to the shelter to see her mother. An army officer gave Saida a ring to identify her mother because his mother had burned to ashes by then. Whichever mother was alive a while back, she came here saying goodbye to them. Seeing the lifeless body of that mother, Saida could not understand what to do. He quietly came out. He didn't say anything to anyone. When he saw his little sister's face, his tears also dried up. Because this baby girl had no one else in this world except Saida. Saida hung her mother's last ring in the bag around her younger sister's neck. But the baby girl Sachoko requested, begging her brother, "I will go to mother." But the little girl had no idea that her mother had left her far away. She would never come back. Saida kept falsely assuring his sister that mother was a bit ill. "I will take you to mother when she recovers." But the child's mind did not understand. The one who used to stay in her mother's lap for 24 hours was now not able to go to her mother all day. Sechoko continued to cry for her mother. Saida was forced to perform various gestures to comfort her mind. And games started showing. The next day, Saida's mother was cremated along with some other bodies. An acquaintance on the train asked him about his younger sister. Saida then told her, "I have sent my sister to a relative's house, and I'm going there now." Saida reached her relative's house. He hid a wooden box in the garden next door. When Saida opened the door and entered the house, her younger sister came running, screaming, "Mama!" because she thought her mother was back. But actually her brother came back. And when that auntie asked where her mother was, Saida told her, "My mother is still sick and will come back when she is healthy." The night grew deep. Saida then brought that wooden box home. Originally, the box contained the last few chocolates he had saved for his little sister. The next morning, Saida went to her house, which was now almost destroyed. Saida took out the things hidden under the ground and came to her aunt with those things. His aunt was very happy to see the food because these foods were more expensive than crores of rupees. His aunt came to know that his mother had died. At night, Saida went out with his younger sister, Sechoko, and played with the lighting bugs. Saida gave one of the lozenges in his pocket to his younger sister. This little lozenge made Sechoko burst into joy when she got it in her hands. You don't understand if you don't see it. Even in the midst of so much trouble, seeing the happiness of the little girl made him feel better. And like this, quite a few days passed. Little by little, the two children without their parents were becoming understood by the aunties. Saida's aunt came and asked Saida, "Have you found any trace of your father?" Saida then told her, "I have written many letters to father, but till date I have not received any reply from him." Saida's aunt said to Saida, "You take your younger sister and go to the shelter." Saida then said that his sister Sechoko didn't like to be there at all. Gradually, their aunt started misbehaving with them, reducing their food intake. But the two orphans remained there despite suffering hundreds of insults. Because people like me understand how hard the world is without a mother. For those of you whose mothers are still alive, take a look at your mothers now. You will see paradise before your eyes. Anyway, a few more days passed like this. One day, Saida's aunt came to Saida to take some of her mother's old clothes because by selling them, she would buy rice. Although Saida agreed to give those saris, the little girl did not agree to give her mother's last scented saris to her aunt. She started crying loudly. She tried hard to save her mother's saris, but it didn't work. Her aunt took the saris, sold them, and bought rice. But that rice did not reach the foreheads of the two orphans. Most of the rice was eaten by the aunt's family, and only a little was given to the two children. When Saida asked her aunt for some rice for her little sister, her aunt said many things and asked, "Why don't you go to the house of your other relatives? You have grown up. Why don't you work?" The two children sold their mother's clothes but could not even eat a little rice. So Saida took her younger sister to the local bank. Their mother had deposited 7,000 rupees for them in this bank. And this amount was a lot of money at that time. Saida first went to a hardware store with the money. They bought a stove for themselves and did a lot of shopping in the bazaar. Back home, the two siblings cooked for themselves. After many days, the two children finally ate to their heart's content. But even this did not bring peace to their aunt's eyes. During the night, Sechoko cried for her mother. Then her aunt came and said to Saida, "Stop your sister's crying or get out of this house." Helpless, Saida went outside with her little sister, hugged her, and tried to stop her crying. Then there was a sound outside. The Americans attacked again. Saida started running home with her younger sister to save their lives. After a long run, the siblings took shelter under a bridge. Looking at the place, Saida thought, "Why don't the two siblings build a house here? At least then we won't have to listen to that auntie's words." Saida did what she thought. From the rubble, the two siblings gathered wood, straw, and other essentials. Saida also brought the remaining things left at her aunt's house into that shelter. They bought some small vegetables from the market. In this abandoned house, two motherless children made a peaceful home together. After a long time, the two siblings cooked vegetable khichdi for themselves at noon. Having eaten their fill, they lay down in good spirits. When darkness fell at night, Sachoko was very afraid of it. Then Saida brought many lightning bugs from outside and left them in the mosquito net. The small cave became completely illuminated. After many days, the two siblings were able to sleep peacefully. The next morning, when Saida woke up, he found his little sister was not beside him. He came out of the cave and saw Sachoko digging up and burying the insects that had died last night. Sachoko looked at her brother and said, "Brother, my mother is also lying in such a grave, isn't she? I know everything. Auntie told me. My mother is not alive." Saida could not find words to say. He started crying profusely because his beloved younger sister had come to know that their mother was no longer alive in this world. Saida said to his younger sister, "Don't cry, sister. When the war stops, I will take you to Mother's grave. We will build a house next to Mother's grave and stay there forever." A long time passed like this. Their savings were gone. The two siblings had nothing left to eat and no more clothes to wear. They went to a nearby farmer for help, from whom they used to buy food, but the farmer turned them away. Suddenly, the Americans attacked again. The two siblings hid in a tomato field. Hungry, Saida saw tomatoes and immediately ate some. He let his sister eat tomatoes too, and they stole some more for themselves. They returned to their little cave. From this point, it is clear that while drinking impure water and living in a dirty environment, Sachoko suffered from various diseases. She had skin disease and the dreadful disease of that time, diarrhea. Saida did not know what to do. He started stealing food for his sister at night. He stole a sugarcane, but in a cruel twist of fate, he got caught. The owner of the sugarcane plantation beat him inhumanly. Saida apologized repeatedly, but the man did not forgive him. The merciless man brought him to the cave and beat him in front of his younger sister, Sachoko. Saida knelt down and pleaded, "Please don't hit me again. I did it for my sister. My baby sister is very sick and very hungry. I did it to feed her a little. I will never do it again." But the man's heart did not soften. He handed Saida over to the police. When the policeman looked at the boy, he was struck with compassion and released him. When Saida came out of the police station, he saw his younger sister had followed him after a long journey. Saida looked at her sick face and started crying. Saida returned to their cave with his sister. After that, he began going to war-affected places, risking his life because people were fleeing from there. On those occasions, Saida stole food and clothes to feed his little sister. A few days passed like this, but Sachoko kept getting sicker and sicker, so Saida took her to a city hospital to see a doctor. The doctor examined her and said, "Your sister's condition is very bad. She is severely malnourished and also has diarrhea." Saida asked the doctor to prescribe some medicine. The doctor replied, "There is no medicine for this disease. Only nutritious food can save your sister." The desperate Saida asked, "Then tell me, where can I get nutritious food for my sister?" Saida came out carrying his sister in his arms. The two siblings were walking along the road when they saw some broken pieces of ice fallen from an ice cart. Saida put some pieces of ice into his sister's mouth. He then asked, "What do you want to eat, sister? Just tell me. I will bring all the food for you." The younger sister said in a broken voice, "Brother, I want to eat some rice. I will eat some noodles and some ice cream as well." Saida hugged her tightly and said, "I will bring everything for you, sister." Saida left his younger sister in the cave and went to the bank again because there was still 3,000 rupees left. He brought the money, but heard at the bank that Japan had lost the war to America. His father was a naval officer, and he learned that all the Navy members were dead. The last hope of the two children was extinguished here. Saida came running out of the bank. He cried profusely after seeing his father's picture, but he stopped crying and finally started walking back home. He bought watermelon, chicken, and noodles for his little sister today. But by then, it was too late because Saida did not know that his younger sister was passing her last moments. Saida cut a piece of watermelon and gave it to her sister. The younger sister said in a very slow voice, "The watermelon is very sweet. Thank you very much." And that was the last sound from Sachoko's voice. Saida still could not understand what was happening. He went out and started cooking his sister's favorite dishes. The rice was finished cooking, but his little sister would never wake up again to eat that rice. Saida spent the whole night next to his younger sister's dead body. When he realized this and looked at the innocent face of his little sister in the morning, Saida bought some straw and bark from the village farmer to burn her sister's body. After that, only the memories of his younger sister flashed in front of his eyes. Sometimes Sachoko was swinging, sometimes wearing army dresses, trying to dress like a soldier, decorating the house because her brother would come sometime. The little girl could sew like her mother. She is not in this world today. No one will ever call Saida brother again. Saida took his younger sister to the mountain to burn her. He put his little sister in a box and kept some of her favorite toys with her. For the last time, he looked at his beloved little sister's face. He would never see this face again. Finally, abandoning all illusions of the world, Saida set fire to the box. The baby girl was freed from this world forever. Saida took some pieces of his burnt sister's body in a tin can and left forever. He never returned to that cave. And what happened to his fate, we saw at the beginning of the movie. And this is where the movie ends. Dear viewers, this was the heartbreaking story of a brother and sister, two innocent souls caught in the cruelty of war. But this is not just a story from a film. This is the painful reality of many children around the world, fighting silently every day, battling hunger, loneliness, and loss. Sometimes we take our loved ones for granted, but just for a moment, close your eyes and imagine. What if you were Sada? What if your little sister was Sachoko? War doesn't just destroy buildings, it shatters hearts. It silences laughter, it steals the future. So if you have someone by your side today, hold them a little closer. Say thank you. Say I love you, because for someone out there, love is a luxury they never had.